Hello students, I am Ajay Sir from AK Science Tutorial. I am going to teach you chemistry. In chemistry, we are going to start with the chapter acid, base and salts. Now, the acid. First of all, I want to explain you why do we start with this chapter. Because this chapter alone covers about 50 to 60% of syllabus of chemistry in class 10th. So, start with acid. Now, normally we say that anything which has sour taste is called acid. First one. Second, that is we write here sour taste. This can be taken into property also, but second one for the definition. Acids are proton donors. Proton. Proton means H plus ion. H plus ion is taken as proton. The reason is that when a hydrogen atom loses its one electron, it changes to H plus ion, which has only a single particle called proton in its nucleus. So acids are proton donors. Next, acids are the compound which have ionizable hydrogen atom. We must give emphasis on this term also, that is ionizable, not the replaceable. Because if a compound has hydrogen which can be replaced but does not produce H plus ion, it will be not an acid. For example, suppose we have CH4, this compound. It contains hydrogen but it is not an acid, because if it reacts with chlorine, it gives CH3Cl plus HCl. You can see that it's one H plus, a hydrogen atom is replaced by chlorine, but it is not giving H plus ion, so it is not an acid. So we say acid is a compound which has ionizable hydrogen atom, whose hydrogen atom can be replaced by a metallic ion or any other positive ion like NH4 plus. Third definition. Next definition, fourth, that is the acid is the compound which gives hydronium ion as the only cation in aqueous solution. This is the ionic definition for acid which is commonly used. Now, overall we say that by taking one example, we take here, suppose we have an acid HCl. It is a covalent compound. When dissolved in water, it ionizes and gives this one. So you see here, that is hydrogen chloride is giving us H plus ion. So the previous definition, that is it is proton donor, is now clear here. It gives H plus ion. Similarly, but as you know, H plus ion is unstable. It has only nucleus. It does not contain a stable or complete orbit. So when it reacts with water molecule, then it gives hydronium ion, and here it exists in a stable form. Overall, you can write this equation as HCl plus H2O gives H3O plus Cl minus ion. So whatever may be an acid, it always gives hydronium ion, H3O plus ion, as the only cation. Using different acids, the anion will vary. Like if you use nitric acid, here there will be nitrate. If you use sulphuric acid, here there will be sulphate. And for phosphoric acid, there will be phosphate ions. So the anion will vary, but cation is common. Hence, this is the acid is a compound which always gives hydronium ion as the only cation in aqueous solution. This is the definition for acid. Now, in this part, how is this ion formed? So we can take a topic, that is the formation of hydronium ion. This question is frequently asked in board exams, that draw the structure of hydronium ion and show the formation of hydronium ion. So we can write here formation of hydronium ion. Hydronium ion. Now in this part you see, that is this is the structure of water molecule. These two pair of electrons are known as lone pair of electrons. When H plus ion of an acid comes in contact, then it does not contain any electron but requires two electrons to become stable. In water molecule, oxygen is stable, it has complete octet, but these two pair of electrons are unshared, which are called lone pair of electron. So oxygen provides a lone pair of electron to this hydrogen ion for sharing. This is not the mutual sharing. In this part, oxygen provides just its single pair of electron to hydrogen for sharing, and this type of bond is known as coordinate bond. So with the help of this coordinate bond, this can be represented by an arrow, and this gives H plus ion, that is hydronium ion. So two types of questions are asked here. One, draw the structure of hydronium ion. So in this part we will have to write only this one. And second, show the formation of hydronium ion. Then we will have to write it completely. In board examination, sometimes question is asked that all acids produce common cation in aqueous solution. Draw the structure or show the formation of that ion. Means it will be hydronium ion. So this is related to the acid, its introduction, definitions, and formation of hydronium ion. Now we can start with another part of it, that is classification of an acid. Classification of acids. Classification. There are many bases to classify. The first one is on the basis of source. On the basis of source, which may be mineral acid. Mineral acid, as the name suggests, it will be obtained from minerals, that is the salts. Like from chloride salts we can have hydrogen chloride, from nitrate salts we have nitric acid, sulfate salts sulfuric acid. So this type of acids are called mineral acids. Mineral acids, generally they do not contain carbon except carbonic acid. Carbonic acid. So these are called mineral acids. Another may be organic acid. Organic acid, also termed as carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid. Organic, how is the term derived? In simple terms we can say organic, it is derived from organism, organ and then organic, means it is obtained from living resources, that is generally from plants and then animals. So these are, यानी we can say, हम लोग लिख सकते हैं यहाँ पर from plants and animals. Plants and animals. Examples: HCOOH, that is called formic acid. CH3COOH, that is acetic acid, etc. What is common in all organic acids? All of them have COOH, also termed as carboxyl group. So all carboxylic acids or organic acids will have COOH group. So this was the first classification on the basis of source. The second classification, that is on the basis of presence of oxygen. Presence of oxygen, we can have hydra acids. Hydra acids. Hydra acids do not contain oxygen. Do not contain oxygen. That is, it will contain hydrogen and another nonmetal other than oxygen. Example, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide, hydrogen iodide, etc. So these are called hydroacids. Now next, it is oxyacid. Oxyacids. They contain oxygen. Means it will have normally three elements, one hydrogen, another a nonmetal, and oxygen. Example, H2SO4, sulfuric acid, HNO3, nitric acid, H3O4, phosphoric acid, and all organic acids. All organic acids, etc. So these are the oxyacids. Now, so we have classified it on two bases. The third basis. Third, on the basis of concentration. Concentration. It may be concentrated acid. Concentrated acids contains less water, contain little water, and second, dilute acid. Dilute acids contain more water, contain more water. Now, the fourth basis of classification is on the basis of strength. Strength is defined by the degree of ionization. The extent up to which a compound ionizes in aqueous solution. In aqueous solution is called degree of ionization. Degree of ionization. Degree of ionization is expressed or denoted by alpha symbol and is expressed in percentage. Now it is of two types. First, a strong acid. A strong acid. There are few basic concepts related to it. First of all, alpha should be greater than 30%. Means degree of ionization should be more than 30%. Means out of 100 molecules, more than 30 molecules of the acid will change into ions in that solution. Next, consist of mainly ions. Consist of mainly ions. We have to see here the term mainly, not only, because no substance, no compound will ionize 100% in aqueous solution, but mostly it ionizes, so we say mainly ions. Now further we see that it will be a good conductor of electricity. Means if the circuit is completed using it as electrolyte, then the bulb will glow brightly. Examples: HCl, HNO3, H2SO4, HI, etc. These three are expressed in given in syllabus also. Next, weak acid. Weak acid. Now, according to these points, its degree of ionization will be less than 30%. Means it will produce little of ions, hence it will also contain molecules. So we say that it consists of ions as well as molecules. ions as well as molecules, and if it is taken as electrolyte connected to a bulb, then the bulb will glow dim. Example: H2CO3, H3PO4, and then all organic acids, etc. So we have explained it again on the basis of strength. Suppose a question is asked, that is HX is a weak acid. Then what kind of particles will be present in its aqueous solution other than that of water? So the particles in it will be hydronium ion, X minus ion, and HX molecule. HX molecules. We write here ions. So these three types of particles will be present. So we must take care of writing the answers. That is, if the compound is given, then we must write like this. Not we can say that only it contains ions and molecules. So we must mention it. Now the last classification is on the basis of basicity. On the basis of basicity. What is basicity? The number of ionizable hydrogen atom present in one molecule of an acid, or we can say the number of hydronium ion produced by one molecule of an acid in aqueous solution is called its basicity. Like first, monobasic acid. Monobasic acid. As the name suggests, mono matlab single, means one molecule of acid will give us only one hydronium ion when get dissolved in water. Now produce one H3O plus ion per molecule. Second, ionizes in single step. And third, can produce only normal salt. Normal salt. Example: HCl, HNO3. Now here you can take care of it. HCOH, then CH3, COOH, etc. Now in these two examples we have to think. In this first two there is one hydrogen atom, so it will ionize to give one H plus ion on one hydronium ion only. But in this there are two hydrogen atoms. Here there are four hydrogen atoms. But you can see, always remember, if there is a carboxylic acid, then from carboxylic acid this group will give you only hydronium ion or H plus ion. Hydrocarbon part will not give H plus ion. So acetic acid is monobasic acid. Now according to the definitions, if HCl is taken or dissolved in water, it gives H plus ion and Cl minus ion. If it reacts with base, then it forms normal salt, that is NaCl. So this is monobasic acid. Accordingly, there is dibasic acid. Dibasic acid. As the name suggests, its one molecule will produce 2 hydronium ion in aqueous solution. That is, produce 2 H3O plus ion, ionize in two steps, and can form two types of salt. That is acid salt and normal salt. Acid salt and normal salt. Like for example, we have H2SO4, H2CO3, H2SO3, H2SO3. In carboxylic acid, it may be COH whole twice, that is oxalic acid, etc. If you take example of it, H2SO4. In first part, if it ionizes partially, it gives H plus and HSO4 minus ion. When again it ionizes, it gives H plus and SO4 2 minus ions. Accordingly, if it neutralizes partially, then from this anion it can form acid salt, and from this anion on complete neutralization it will give us normal salt. Sometimes question is asked that name an acid salt and a normal salt prepared from same acid. In that case, you will use the acid that contains 2 or more ionizable hydrogen atom. An example, suppose sulfuric acid ionizes partially, it gives H plus ion and HSO4 minus ion. And on complete neutralization again, it gives another H plus ion and sulfate ion. So it ionizes in 2 steps. Here, if there is a incomplete neutralization, then it will produce sodium bisulfate salt by partial neutralization with sodium hydroxide. And if there is complete neutralization, it will give Na2SO4, that will be the normal salt. Next classification, that is tribasic acid. Tribasic acid, again, as the name suggests, it will have 3 ionizable hydrogen atom. It will ionize in 3 steps and produce 3 H3O plus ions. H3O plus ions in aqueous solution. Ionizes in 3 steps. And produce 2 acid salt and a normal salt. Example, H3PO4. Now this is the tribasic acid, but again here there is a exception. That is, for example, if we have phosphorus acid, H3PO3 is a dibasic acid, because in its structure the hydrogen combined with or bonded with oxygen only ionizes. The hydrogen bonded with phosphorus does not ionize. So one molecule of phosphorus acid produces only 2 hydronium ion. So although it contains 3 hydrogen atoms, but it is a dibasic acid.